Hi everyone, welcome to the Big Data Show. And in today's video, we are continuing our Spark conceptual series with the topic named as repartition versus coalesce. Again, this is very important topic from the interview perspective as well. And through this topic, interviewer will try to understand your fundamental understanding with the Spark concepts, right? So in today's video, we will first try to understand the differences, like what is repartition, what is coalesce, and we will also study like why should we use that, like why there is a need to use repartition versus coalesce. We'll also try to understand the scenarios. When should we go for repartition and when should we go for coalesce? We will also look at some scenarios where coalesce might not be a good choice, right? So we'll also look at some scenarios, and we will also look at some Spark code, right, through which we will understand this implementation, how Spark will implement this concept. And also we will try to cover some MCQ concept. MCQ questions we will cover based on the topics which we are discussing, right? Again, the repartition and coalesce. So yeah, repartition versus coalesce. If we go with the definition, then repartition is used to increase or decrease. So it is used to increase or decrease the number of partition, right? Whereas coalesce is used to only decrease the number of partition, decrease the number of partitions. So that is a basic definition which you will also see across the internet or all. So coming to this, right? So we have studied that repartition, according to the definition, is used to either increase or decrease the number of partition, and coalesce is used to decrease the number of partition. Now, for those who might not be knowing like what exactly is partition in Spark terms, right? So say you have written your Spark code, right? And Spark code is basically consisting of the transformations and actions, right? So transformations are like some business logic which you apply. So say you have reading the data, you are filtering some data, you are doing some aggregation, you are doing any kind of business operations on your data set, maybe creating some new columns, deleting it, any kind of transformations will be categorized under this. And action would be when you are actually specifying that you want your final output, right? So it can be like you are saving your data set, output data set to some destination, or you want to collect some sample data set just to see what is the final output. So any action is something which you are seeing the final point, that this is the final output that I am expecting from all the business logic transformations. So your Spark code generally consists of transformations and actions, right? Now, if you're reading the data, so say you are using Spark and you are reading some file. So this file can be present in S3 bucket, local storage, anywhere, right? So say we have one file here which we are reading and it is URL size, right? So now instead of Spark executing the single file as a one, so instead of one machine executing this one file, what would happen? So we have a Spark. Spark runs on distributed cluster, right? So what it will do, instead of executing the single file on one machine, it will try to read the file and it will distribute the file across different smaller chunks, right? So this smaller chunks, it will divide the data set and then it will execute parallelly all these chunks based upon your resource configuration. So these smaller chunks are nothing but is called as partition, right? So this is what we call as partition. I hope that is clear. Now we know that what is partition. So we have studied according to the definition that repartition by which we can increase. So say if we are having 6 partitions here, and I wanted to say redistribute the data to say 8 or 10 partition, or I want to reduce the number of partitions to 4 or something, then this one we can use repartition. And say I have a requirement to reduce from 6 to 3, then I can use 2. So we have studied that for reducing the number of partition, we can use both repartition versus coalesce, right? Then what should we prefer? So that is again the next question. So let's study about that. So we have studied what is partition, and let's study more about this difference. So repartition, we have studied, but the difference in repartition and coalesce is that repartition will say shuffle equal to true, right? So just shuffle. So whenever we are using repartition, it will cause your data movement across the cluster. So if we go also to this definition written here, so this how repartition happen by shuffling the data across the machines, right? So and coalesce, there is no shuffle or very less data movement, right? No shuffle or less data movement. So first, let's just quickly understand what is shuffle for those who don't know. So see, I have my initial data set distributed across 4 clusters. Or you can also consider one example that you have 4 buckets and each bucket containing red walls, green balls or blue balls, right? And now your requirement is to have individual bucket containing, say, red, green, blue, or maybe say violet, right? So you have this requirement. So that means from each individual bucket, you need to fetch the red balls, right? And place it in this red bucket, right? Similarly for green, similarly for blue, and similarly for violet. So what is happening? So assume all these chunks and partitions are present on your machines, on different executor cores of your machine, right? And if the data needs to be moved across the machine, right? So maybe this chunk is present on machine number 2, or this is on 3, or this is on 4, just taking examples. And now you wanted to aggregate the data based on the color. So what would happen? The individual data corresponding to that color needs to be moved, which causing the data movement, right? Data movement. So whenever there is a data movement and shuffling involved, it causes the network I/O. It causes your over. It causes a execution time will take a hit, right? Because it is a wide transformation. So that is again the difference in shuffle. So how repartition achieves increasing or decreasing is through shuffling. So whenever it wants to increase or decrease, it will try to cause a shuffle. And what would be the benefit in this case, right? So if I'm saying I'm doing the shuffle and queries will not do the shuffle. So for repartition, it will be doing the effective redistribution, that is even distribution of data. Whereas in for release, what would happen? In this case, there can be a possibility that there is an uneven distribution of data, right? And for case of repartition, it is even. Why? Because there is a shuffling involved. So whenever we are doing repartition, the Spark will make sure that all the data set should not be there any skewness, and data set will be distributed evenly, right? But for in case of say this queries, right? Let's study how can it cause uneven distribution of data, right? So say we have again this example. So say we have this again 4 partitions, and I say I want to reduce the number of partitions to 2. And I wanted to use queries for that, right? So what can happen, right? So maybe the data set from this 2 partition will move in here, and from this 2 will move here, right? So what is happening here? Say this data set is huge here. Maybe your initial distribution is not even, right? And say these are very less record or less record. When queries operation would happen, there is a possibility that this partition which we are getting having less records, and this is having more record, right? So this can be a possibility resulting into the uneven distribution of the data. So that is again one difference. So where queries might not be a good choice, because queries can, there is a possibility that it will try to have uneven distribution of the data. So like in that case, how should we know in case we want to reduce the number of partitions? Should we go for queries or repartition? That again depends upon your data distribution, right? So also it depends upon on which particular do you want performance gain, or how do you want to do that. So because queries involves less shuffle, and also if your data set, suppose input data set is distributed evenly somehow, then you should prefer queries because it will not cause shuffle. And shuffle will generally involve all the I/O, disk I/O, network I/O, and also the overhead. So it will be more faster, right? In order to reduce the number of partitions. So that's why you should be aware of how your data set is distributed. So that is about this queries versus repartition. And again, like, why should we choose? Like, why should we go for this repartition or query? What should be the use case? So use case is again the evening distribution of data, right? So again, taking the example, why we have go for increasing or decreasing. Say you have this distribution of your data, and say this 4th partition is having less record, and this is having a low record. So we can say that our data is skewed, something like that, right? So now what we want to have to redistribute this data in somehow, so that there would be each partition will be having even time of record. Because if we are just taking this scenario, data skewness, right? What would happen? Some partition will be taking a long amount of time, and whereas this partition will complete in very less amount of time, which will again take us with, because your Spark cluster need to wait for this to complete before taking further stages and tasks down the line. So that's why for even distribution of data and to optimize your time, we should prefer this operations. Another use case can be, right, say, because repartition specifically can also be, you can specify the column name, right? You can also specify the column name. So say there is a requirement where you want to say, we do want to do some joins or group by based on some column name. So you can also prefer this repartition based on that column name to redistribute your data based on that column value so that your further aggregation operation would be much faster. So that again depends upon how you are writing your Spark code. Everything we are discussing here is not a silver bullet. It all depends upon how you are writing your code. And based on your data set distribution, what type of data you are reading, you can see like what operation would be suitable for your key. So that is again like the use case. When should we use, when should we go for this type of operation? Again, to optimize your Spark process for removing the data skewness, for redistributing the data based on the column value. So just again seeing this queries or repartition. So we are seeing that to be more expensive because it involves shuffle. Whereas queries functionality is designed to reduce the number of partitions and it will allow less data distribution. So there will be minimizing the data movement across the network. So that is the basic difference. Now, let's study like some performance consideration. Like when should we not use when should we not use queries for some scenario? Let's study that. So yeah, that is scenario where queries might not be a good choice. So what would happen? So we have studied for queries that it will try to merge the parent partitions into some child partitions in order to reduce the partition, which can also cause some uneven distribution. So that we have studied in the So because what queries is doing, there is no data movement from one parent partition to multiple child partition. That's why it is categorized as a narrow transformation. You can also watch another video on the channel related to narrow and wide if you want to further understand why this categorized as narrow transformation. So because this parent partition is contributing to one child, right? So this is a narrow transformation. Now what is happening here? So say this is 4 partition and I want to reduce it to 2 number of partition. So what is happening here? So say there is again the concept of job stages and tasks. So what happened in case of queries? So whenever we are using queries for any of our transformation after that, right? So queries will try to push that number of partitions to the upstream stage, right? So if we see this line, right? Queries causes the upstream partitions in the entire stage. So say I have one stage where I am specifying some transformation, say builder, right? And I am doing some further operations, right? Maybe I'm doing some other operations a bit column or something. And I want to do some queries or something, right? Or there can be another aggregations in between. So what would happen in case of queries? That it will try to post the upstream partitions. So whatever partitions or specifications we have in our state, it will try to execute that with the same level of parallelism assigned by queries. That is, all this filter queries, all this operation will happen within that range, which you have reduced. I am sure that you might not get the concept. So let's study that through some sample PySpark course so that you will also further understand what we are discussing right now. So in this example, we are reading the CSV file. So we are reading a CSV file, right? And after that, we are applying the filter operation. And then we are doing the group by operation. So that is what we are doing, right? So in this case, whenever we are doing the group by operation, after that, we are using the queries operations. So intention is not to understand the whole Spark code, but to understand this part of where queries comes into picture. So because group by is a shuffle operation, right? Again, which is a wide transformation. So if we have not configured our default Spark shuffle setting, this will take 200 partitions in order to complete it operation, right? So that means for executing the group by, internally PySpark will have 200 tasks created for this, right? And 200 partitions will be there. Now, what we are doing in this, right? After doing the group by, I want to reduce the number of partitions to 5. There can be a possibility that my data set is not having that much huge number of distinct keys. And after doing the group by, I am sure that some partitions will be empty. That's why I have come up with this number that I want to reduce it to 5. So what would happen in this case of this drastic change from 200 to 5, right? Ideally, what should happen? That my group by will be completing in 200 partitions, 200 NAS, and then my queries should happen. But as we have studied that in case of queries, it will try to push the level of parallelism to upstream partition in the state. So in this case, because this is my stage, right? And this is what is happening, say group by. So this is my group by, and then I am using queries. So ideally, group by should take 200 tasks, and then queries should reduce it to 5. But if we look at this Spark execution, right? So you can see in this stage that we are having some shuffle data, and then we are using the Coiley's operation here, and then we are writing it or something, whatever current operation you have specified, right? So what would happen here? So you see here the tasks are 5 for this entire stage, right? Why? It should here be 200, something like that. 200 partition should be there for the group 1 and then to 5, right? But here the entire execution is completed within 5 tasks because of Coiley. So that's why you should choose Coiley's very, very you should know about your Spark one before using Coiley, because Coiley's can try to reduce the level of parallelism to the number specified in the Coiley's operation. Whereas in case of repartition, because there is a shuffle flag true, right? It won't do the same operation. So instead, in case of this same code, if I use repartition instead of Coiley's, then this should not happen, and you can see that group by operation will execute within the 200 tag, right? So that is one about in this video. So we have studied what is repartition. We see that it is used to reduce or decrease the number of reduce or increase the number of partitions, and how it achieves that using the shuffling. And this is more expensive because this involves a data shuffling. Then we have studied that Coiley's is again used to reduce only the number of partitions, and it involves minimal data movement. And then what is the impact of that? So we have studied that because it is more efficient than repartition, but again, there is a possibility that it sometimes causes uneven distribution of your data set, right? And how to choose between these two, that again depends upon your data distribution and how do you want to have a performance, or do you want to have, so that again depends upon your trade-off, right? What you want to impact, performance versus this shuffle. Then performance consideration, because repartition involves a full shuffle, it can be resource intensive, and for reason more performance friendly as compared to that. So that is again, we have studied scenario where queries might not be put right, where we have studied that because queries try to pose the upstream partition in entire stage to execute with a level of parallelism. So sometimes it might not be a good choice. Again, that depends upon multiple factors. So in that case, you should maybe try run with both this repartition and queries, and then again comes to choice whether to use repartition versus query. So I hope you like the video. Let's quickly cover some scenario MCQs question. So we have our YouTube channel, right? That is the big data show that you can see here. And we have the community section here. So inside this community section, you can see we have different MCQs question related to the topic. So we have some theory as well. So they have put some theory, and within that we have put the MCQs link for you to practice. So we will try to cover 2-3 MCQs, and I will highly encourage you to practice more. So we have this below PyPub code, like some snippets, where we are trying to specify the number of partition explicitly, and also specifying the shuffle flag. So we have studied in our demo, right, that only repartition supports the shuffle, and Coiley's does not have any other parameter other than the number of partitions. So in this scenario, it should fail, and it should cause error because it does not accept another parameter. So we have multiple options here, and we are also providing the explanation. So in case you don't have much clarity, like why this is the answer, you can go through the explanation. Next, let's again study another, like what is the potential drawback of using queries to reduce the number of partitions. As we have already studied that queries can sometimes cause uneven distribution of the data. That's why this can be the one of the impact. So that is the first answer. So we have multiple MCQs that you can see here and what will the topic. So highly encourage you to practice and to provide any feedback, and or you have any topic that you want us to discuss. So do mention that in the comment, and thank you so much.